All right, good morning. We're now live. We
Good
have
morning, everybody. It is Friday, the 12th of September. Thank you for being here. Please put in the chat where you're watching from. Today, hashtag KMT for what, Alia?
let's do a body by bacon t-shirt.
Okay. So, KMT, wherever you are, I don't usually have many people on Instagram, but if my name comes up and someone is there, we'll pick someone.
Cool. And I just want to say Dr. Kiltz is in LA. He flew in late. So you guys got us this morning. Me, Julie, Dr. Nelson. It'll still
He's
be fantastic.
he's going to be at his 40th medical school graduation reunion. He's
Yeah, it's
been a
amazing.
doctor for 40 years.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I was multiple times telling him you definitely should go. You only do this one once, so you should definitely go.
You don't want to miss that.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we have Julie Wilcoxson with us today, and she's going to tell us her story. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. QQQ, please. Comments, questions, like, share, subscribe. If you're not a subscriber of the channel, please subscribe. You can also go to the link in the description to be a member of the Kills Mighty Tribe if you're not a member. All righty. So, Julie, good morning. Where are you from?
Good morning. Just outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. Tell us about you. Tell us about your story, and we'd like to hear.
Okay. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. I've had a long history of issues. I got first I begged to be tested for PCOS when I was in my 20s. I was getting pregnant easily, but I was having miscarriages. So they kept telling me since I didn't fit the checklist that I didn't have PCOS. So it was stress, just keep going forward, doing all the things. Finally did get pregnant, saw a fertility doctor, and was able to have 2 daughters. And then I started gaining weight. I started having stomach issues, skin issues, all the things. I was told I needed hysterectomy in my 30s.
Oh, wow.
I had acne to where I didn't want to go out in public. I'm a personal trainer by trade, and it's really difficult to show up at 5 a.m. to teach boot camp when you're so tired that you cannot get out of bed. I didn't like coffee then, so I would live off caffeine pills and just pray the weather would be bad and I'd have to cancel. And my husband used to tease me going, how do you run a business when you want someone to cancel? But just nobody understood the fatigue that I was dealing with. I was put on metformin. I mean, medicine was thrown at me all the time with no solutions. And I was training a lot of women who had PCOS, and they were dealing with the same thing and getting the same answers. And even though, with working out and stuff, you could lose weight, you still weren't hitting that optimal health. There was still something missing. And so I went back to school in my 40s to become a dietitian because, there had to be some answer that I was missing and didn't find. And when I was in school, I got up to 200 pounds. Everything just went worse. My blood sugar was high. My blood pressure was high. Went to my doctor and I was told I could have this new weight loss drug, Ozempic, that could help me with all of that. And I was so frustrated. I mean, I came home and just tried to learn everything I could. I saw a lady on Instagram that was in school for holistic nutrition, and it was nothing I was learning in school. I was like, I do not know any of this stuff. Why am I not learning this? So I finished school, but just decided not to go the dietetic route. Instead, I did another year of holistic nutrition. And in 12 weeks, everything started to change. I started to feel better. I started to lose the inflammation. Still something was missing. That's where I found Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Keltz, where I learned keto. I started messing with that, which before I thought keto was crazy. And that's where actual weight started to melt off. Felt a lot better. The energy came back, but still something was missing. I still had some bloat after eating. I still had a little spot of eczema, and dove a little bit more into carnivore, which, I mean, to be honest, I thought was crazy, but I did it. And within 4 weeks, the bloat was gone, the brain fog was gone, the eczema was gone. I felt, I, I felt wonderful. Like, I thought this is definitely the way to go. And now I've kind of been telling everybody about it. My husband lost over 20, almost 30 pounds. So I mean, in a short time, the weight loss was so easy. It just melted off. It was fabulous. And then I meet wonderful new people.
How
Aw.
long have you been now carnivore?
September is 1 year.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
awesome. And how's the PCOS symptoms?
Completely gone. I have no more
Wow.
insulin resistance. My fertility came back. I don't have any skin tags just dropped off. Like, it's been wild, especially just to see the scale just drop without trying when you've tried for so long and
Right.
nothing moved. Yeah.
That's amazing. Are you planning on having more babies?
No, I am
Oh, okay.
51 now, and I'm on my way to my 5th grandbaby. So no
Oh
more
my,
babies.
no way. I was like, she must be like at least 30 something. You're talking about your 30s. I thought you were 30 something. Oh my God. So your daughters are in their 20s. Oh,
Yes.
wow. 5
Yes.
grandbabies.
Yes. But
This
now I
is
have
one
the
good looking
energy to
grandma.
play with them. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I said one good looking grandma.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. The energy.
Yes.
The energy.
That's a huge thing. You don't know how bad you feel till you feel better.
So
It's so
you
true.
had fatigue. Were you having your periods? Were they irregular?
Oh, they were all over the place. You
Okay.
spot it all the time. And there was days I didn't want, because I also had endometriosis. So
Okay.
that was
Awful.
now the only way I know when my cycle's starting is my Aura ring tells me. There's no bloating, there's no cramps, there's no fatigue, there's no nothing.
And
Wow.
often with PCOS, around here it's called plant-caused ovarian sickness. Often you have androgenization or hyperandrogenism, which basically means the most frequent problem is hair growing where you don't want it, right? Did you have some of that as well?
I had a little bit of that on my chin, and that all went away as well.
Okay.
Yes.
That's actually all you need for the diagnosis. So don't know why your doctors told you didn't fulfill the criteria.
Because I wasn't obese. That's what they told me.
Oh, wow.
That's not one of the criteria, though.
No.
There
Oh
is
my
only
gosh.
3 criteria, and the third one would be having actual cysts in your ovary, but that's not found on everyone. PCOS is not correctly named, in my opinion, because the primary problem is not polycystic ovaries, is the syndrome that comes from the insulin resistance, the higher testosterone levels, and so on. But it's gone. It can be reversed. Who knew?
Right. Even my doctors would tell me that it can't be reversed. That it's not true. Even though my blood values, everything shows that, and it's a frustrating thing for sure.
Most metabolic dysfunctions uh, can be reversed. Diabetes, PCOS are some of the big ones. Hypertension, as many here know. Many here are former hypertensives, right? So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I see we have a couple.
We got a couple of them right now. Lena Furman on Facebook. Can carnivore lion diet improve eye pressure caused by glaucoma? Thank you. How about, who would like to take that one?
What do you think, Julie?
Ooh, I mean, from my experience of it for a year, I think it can improve just about anything because I think a lot of our stuff is coming from we're eating too many carbs, we're under too much blue light. Our bodies think a lion's chasing us all day long. Our modern day stressors are they're mountainous. We make them into such
Right.
big things with stress. So I would say yes. I don't know a lot about the eye, but I would have to say yes.
I can tell you it's not going to make it worse.
Right.
And if you watch or listen to our friend, Dr. Lisa Widerman, she's.
By the way, we have a podcast with her coming out right after the live stream. So everyone can go check that out on Dr. Fields' channel. Perfect question.
Perfect. So, yeah, she's going to tell you yes. And I would defer to her. She's an eye doctor. Next question.
Next question. So this one's for Julie. Chuck, so would you say you are more lion diet, high fat carnivore, coffee, or dairy? 4 questions.
I would say more high fat carnivore. So when I was kind of healing the blood sugar and the insulin resistance, I went a little bit more high fat, lower protein with it. But now based my new doctor didn't quite understand that part. But once my blood values came back with the insulin resistance and all that was done, now I'm going a little bit more higher protein and lowering the fat a little bit more of a 1-to-1 with that. So I think the high fat when you're having blood sugar issues is kind of the way to go. So you're not messing with that insulin as much with the higher protein. And then once things even out, then that seems to be a little bit more smooth sailing. Dairy didn't bother me. I used to be dairy intolerant, but now, I mean, I drink coffee with heavy cream. Once that gut kind of got better, everything improved. All the food sensitivities went away as well.
I love that.
All right.
We've got a question about PCOS. Interesting question from Sharon. Do you think PCOS is just filled with oxalates? Are your ovaries just filled with oxalates?
Don't know. I can tell you that according to Dr. Kiltz, who is the fertility expert here, the OBGYN, I've seen plenty of patients throughout my career with PCOS, and maybe, but there are multiple syndromes or diagnoses of things that cause cysts in our body: thyroid cysts, renal cysts, ovarian cysts, and he certainly believes that the same thing that's causing cysts in one organ system is causing it in others. So he talks about goitrogenic foods, which is if you're you can say that you are probably on a goitrogen-free, oxalate-free, lectin-free diet. And if you find any vegetables that doesn't have any of those 3, let me know. They might have phytates and a bunch of others that do exist, but
I think when I went carnivore from keto, taking away the oxalates is what actually helped the eczema. I think that was the missing piece in there because I had a patch on my ankle that wouldn't go away, and that went away within like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have a big problem with eczema, but I had a couple of patches that it was always there, and it disappeared. I don't even remember or realize when it disappeared, because when you don't have a problem bothering you, you
Right.
may not pay attention to the fact that it's not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dr. Nelson, I told you I had like blistering eczema on my hand, right? For like 5 years.
Okay.
I don't know if I told you or not. So it like annihilated my fingertips. And so carnivore like your actual what your fingerprint looks like, they were gone for
Uh,
years. So with
okay.
carnivore, it cleared up pretty fast. Like I always had a tube of steroid cream so I could like work, and it would get bloody if it would get very inflamed with carbohydrates, and I never figured that out. But I wanted to
Yeah.
say my fingertips came back, my fingerprints came back
Sounds
on lion diet.
sounds like this hydrotic eczema,
Oh,
wh-
okay.
which I don't know if she's here this morning. Carnivore's grandma also had.
Also had that.
Yes, when she was here with us a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
And
she was,
and
but it
she
was like you couldn't even see. It was just you couldn't even like my hand. It was just weird. I don't know, but it was painful for years. Carnivore was the cure, but Lion Diet gave me my fingerprints back.
Wow.
So weird. Here's the last question. Our next question. Sai, hi. I am a carnivore, only fresh beef, goat, and water. I gained weight, but it's mostly visceral fat. And triglycerides went from 70 to 132, LDL 171, but estrogen is low, insulin 4.7. Please help. I'm going to leave that to you too.
You want to tackle this, Julie?
I mean, only fresh beef goat. My first thing, oh well, I mean, insulin 4.7.
It's very low, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a good range.
And LDL went up. I would wonder if I don't know how much protein and stuff is in goat. Like I wouldn't think that's a really high fat meat.
No.
It's probably similar to beef.
Okay.
It's not exactly much leaner. Maybe it might be a little bit leaner. Lamb, goat are very similar,
Okay.
and she doesn't mention it, but I guess if she's eating fresh beef and goat, she may have some histamine problems.
Very true.
Doesn't say what the weights are. I mean, gain weight, but from where to where.
Yeah, she mentions this next. Talking to Papa Carnivore, 3 months keto low carb before weight gain, but didn't think visceral fat will increase. I had flat stomach.
Okay. So if you have excessive fat on your body, you may not need to go extremely high on the fat. So you can lower the amount of fat in your diet for a while, or go leaner if you're looking to lose weight until you get to a point where you are back losing, and you have to look at other things that you might be consuming, dairy or some hidden carbs.
And I wonder how much exercise. Like I was working out 5 days a week. And doing kickboxing and all of that, which was causing a lot of stress too, which was also driving my blood sugar. So when I went down to 3 days a week of weight training and then did a lot of walking and hiking, that seemed to calm my central nervous system down more to help heal my body. So I wonder how much exercise they're getting or stress in their life, because all of that affects it too. And we don't ever think about that.
And
Right.
we frequently forget about sleep
Mhm.
and sunlight.
Yes.
Yes.
Sunlight is huge for that leptin.
Yes.
But by the way, the insulin, the fasting insulin, that was a very good number.
Yeah, it looks like a great number.
Yeah.
Cookie Carter, can the carnivore diet help with healing of an enlarged prostate? Dr. Mills, both, either.
Yeah. Go ahead, Julie.
I would say yes, because everything's about inflammation in the body too. So when you can get rid of the inflammation from all the excess carbs and blood sugar, I mean, it's all goes together. Anything with an itis is inflammation. And so I would say 100% yes, it would help with that.
Yes,
Great.
it does. And Dr. Seifried was in one of the Healing Humanity Zoom calls this week, and I have also
Hmm.
contacted him just a couple of months ago, inquiring about prostate cancer information, and they have some information about prostate cancer and how ketogenic diets are helping with prostate cancer.
That's
So
wonderful.
the enlargement of the prostate. Uh, Now it takes longer for the prostate to reduce in size than even reversing type 2 diabetes. It might take, it's not going to be shrinking in 90 days. I can assure you that. But the answer is yes, a short answer.
Okay. Sai said one more thing. I lost my periods because of underweight. Now at optimal weight, but visceral fat has increased drastically. I exercise daily, jump rope, cycling. Maybe you need that fat on your body. Maybe that fat was put there on purpose.
What do you think, Julie?
Like I admit that jump roping and cycling can be intense exercise and can actually be driving that insulin. So I would look at that.
Mhm.
And then the sunlight, like the sun is really, really important because it helps set that circadian biology and leptin, which leptin, when it lowers, this is one of the biggest reasons people get on Ozempic when they talk about the food noise, because leptin is what tells your body when it's satisfied, when it's full, and we're missing that signal. So if you get out in the morning, like if you could even walk at sunrise or as close to it as possible, or even just sit outside and get 5 to 10 minutes of it with no glass between you and the sun. So no contacts, no sunglasses. Try not to be indoors with a window, but let it hit your skin. That'll actually help with that leptin. Since you said you were underweight, your leptin might be really low and you want it in that 4 to 10 category. So that's one thing I would say have checked. And you can even do that on your own through there's some online labs like Ultima and things like that. If your doctor won't pull it, that is one that you can try too, just to see where your leptin is.
Right.
Own Your Labs is one of the places you can use.
That's right. Florida girl, I just want to say this. I had a large skin tag on my left armpit and it's gone. I totally forgot that I even had it until you mentioned it in this video.
It's a big. I went to a dermatologist and would get them removed, and they just said it was hereditary. Some people have them, some people don't. I had them for over 20 years, and then they just dropped off. It's amazing. Blood sugar, everything.
Wow, it's so crazy. It's so crazy how many things go wrong when you eat the wrong food.
Yes. Because we're also taught everything is separate. You have to see specialists for this, specialists for that, which is great for things, but when one thing's off, it's you can't just put a towel over a fire. That fire is still
Right.
burning even if you don't see it, and it starts to
Right.
affect so many other systems.
It's very crazy. I'm seeing, do we have anyone else have any questions? Please put them in the chat. Julie is a font of information. And Dr. Nelson. We love Dr. Nelson. He always has awesome answers. While we're waiting, I was allergic to cats my entire life. And then I was carnivore for 2.5 years. Once in a while I'll eat some other stuff, but try to stick onto meat and whatnot. But I have 6 cats now. I'm not joking, because we got 1 cat for the kids, and then it like duplicated. She got pregnant. Now we have 6 cats. I'm not allergic to cats from carnivore diet. I've been terribly allergic my whole life, and I was just thinking, like, your body's dealing with so many fires, and then you start putting some of the fires out, and your body acts normal. It's weird.
We don't think about even the environmental stuff, like,
Right.
The perfumes and fragrances and what that does to your liver. And that's a lot of times where we see all these allergies and sinus. I had a client that had sinus infections all the time, and she was just put on antibiotics until we only put her carnivore for 2 weeks because she was against it and is a big foodie. But I mean, even in 2 weeks, it did a world of difference for her. And she hasn't been sick in a year
It's
when her whole
it's
family had the flu.
amazing.
Yes.
I used to have 3 to 4 episodes of sinusitis every year. Hasn't happened again. And talking about insulin resistance and skin tags, or can you bring that up, Alia?
Which question is that? I'm sorry.
The picture
Oh. Okay, yeah, got it.
there. Okay.
Is that you?
I don't know if
I can't
yes,
make it
that it.
bigger. I can't make it bigger.
I'm trying to make it bigger, but I don't know if you can notice on my right hand over the wrist a very dark spot.
Hmm.
That was acanthosis nigricans, which is from insulin resistance, and you can no longer see that.
Amazing.
And yes, that was that was me about. I think that picture is probably 30 years old.
Oh, wow. Oh, I just need to clarify because everyone's commenting on my cats. I have a lot of outdoor space and they don't live all in the house. They're like outside most of the time. Luke says, do you guys think salt is necessary when adapted? I feel like when I adapted, my need decreased and now I don't need salt and seem to have less fatigue.
Julie.
I think you go by how your body feels. Like I also have POTS, so I need a lot more salt. The more I seem to lose sodium quite quickly. But once you get to a point of healing, that's where it becomes experimentation and see how you feel. If you're feeling fine, you don't have the fatigue, then you probably are ready to decrease it a little bit.
Exactly. There was another question here. Let's see. Oh, here, we'll take this one. Psi, TSH went up to 22, iron 88, ferritin 70. I guess we need to understand what the numbers are in whatever country. Any help to increase estrogen without increasing visceral fat or triglycerides? They say triglycerides go down. Mine increased. Anxious about it.
Julie.
I don't know much about the levels of iron and ferritin in there. I can't remember what the levels even are with ferritin.
That ferritin is absolutely normal. The TSH, if this is in units here from the United States, that is high, but you need a full picture of the thyroid. So free T3, free T4, reverse T3, antibodies. I would do the whole panel. TSH went up to 22. Whenever, yes, that is high, but the ferritin is normal. The iron probably okay. And the estrogen always depends on the time of the month that you're doing the lab test. Estrogen is a cyclical variation for females, and so it depends the moment that it was done. I don't know if it's too low. I don't know how old you are, postmenopausal, premenopausal, menstruating, a female. All these things can influence. So, and the triglycerides went up to what?
It said
Say, right?
121, I believe, from 70.
Oh, this is the same person?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be going up, but 121 is not that bad either. And again, triglycerides can change as much as the glucose changes, as much as the insulin can change from one day to the other. were you fasting 12 to 16 hours for both? Was it identical circumstances both times? And I also don't know how long you've been carnivore. I don't know if you mentioned it before.
I think she said 3 months. I think she said that. Oh, I forgot this question for there's this one. Julie, how many times a day do you eat? What are your favorite carnivore meals?
I eat basically 3 times a day. On Mondays, I will fast. It all depends on how much stress I'm under. If I'm under a lot of stress, I might just fast breakfast and start with lunch, or I might fast the whole day if it's been a calmer week for me. My favorite carnivore meal is, I have to say, ribeye with a little pat of grass-fed butter on it. It's still my all-time favorite. I eat that probably 3, 4 times a week. I mean, it's still an all-time favorite for me. I'm pretty simple, and I found that when I went carnivore, it eliminated a lot of stress. I used to plan meals and search for recipes and, knew what we were eating all day long. It used to drive my husband nuts. And with this, it's so simple. I usually eat hamburgers for lunch and a ribeye for dinner and always eggs for breakfast. Pretty simple.
Simplifies things a lot.
It does.
Totally.
You don't waste food. We're not throwing out as much food as we used to.
Oh my gosh, so many wasted vegetables. So much,
Yes.
it's like so much money down the toilet.
Yes.
My husband bought for me yesterday 2 days ago, 80-20 ground beef, and then added like a pound of tallow to it, like a pound of fat. They like grinded it all together. It was amazing. We thought it was gonna last a week. It lasted like 2 days. We thought it was gonna last longer than 2 days. I don't know about a week, but it went faster than we thought.
Yeah.
Carnivorous. Do triglycerides increase when you're in ketosis, burning body fat?
No, usually they go down.
Okay. I want to make sure I got all the questions. Jennifer Hollis. I have adenomyosis.
And
So
by
similar-
the way, just a
Yeah.
comment: 3 months carnivore, I would not be doing any tests the
Right.
first 6 months. I mean, if you happen to have done them before you started, great. You'll have a place to compare. But wait at least 6 months before you start doing any testing. They're going to be a lot more accurate once you are stable on your changes. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No worries. So Jennifer Hollis. So adenomyosis is very similar to like endometriosis, similar to PCOS and all that stuff, right? Like just general problems for women down there. Crippling menstrual cycle. I would have only one good week per month. After 6 months on carnivore, they're virtually pain-free. They still last 7 to 10 days, but pain is gone. I just wanted to give that a shout out. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Let's see. I think we're done with the questions, but somebody will ask another one, I'm sure. Let's see. I have a question for Julie.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Doctor. Okay. What would you, so you basically coach people, correct? On carnivore? Okay, awesome. Or keto or carnivore?
Yes, I start with blood sugar. We usually do that through a big nutritional analysis. And since I did not get my licensure for a dietitian, I can't tell them to go carnivore. We can just talk about it, and then I can coach them if they decide they want to do it. Yeah.
I tell people to go carnivore all the time.
Yeah. In Tennessee, it's strict. It's strict.
Well, this is one of the legal hurdles that you have to go through next week. Whoever is taking the course, certification course, we're going to actually touch on this again. But yeah, there are certain things that are reserved for people with licenses. For example, if you're diagnosing and trying to treat diseases and you don't have a medical license, you could get into trouble.
Sure.
You have to be careful. And the same situation, if you're not a dietitian, then you shouldn't be prescribing meal plans and things like that. So you have to be careful the way you do those things.
Mhm.
Now you can answer questions if they have questions, and you can give an opinion. If I was in the same situation, I might do this. You
Right.
can also explain how these changes benefit the people who have done them.
Mhm.
That makes sense. So my question then, Julie, what is like the first thing you recommend a person does? Like they have high blood sugar, what do you tell them? Because yeah, obviously carnivore people still think it's nuts. Like what's like their first gradient to get them on a path to health?
Usually it's carbs. We look at how many carbs they're doing. And I can't, like Dr. Nelson was saying, I can't say go keto or carnivore, but I can
Mm,
tell them about my story. And a lot of times that will make them want to. Then I can support them while they're on it,
okay.
and kind of give them the keys to success. But usually it's carbs. We start messing with that. And usually I'm telling them to calm down on exercise because
Mm,
we're stressors all around us and we don't understand that.
sure.
So we usually start with just walking. And if they're if they're doing like a boot camp or high intensity 5 times a week, that's what I'm talking about, like backing off. If they're going and
Right.
lifting weights and taking rest periods, that's fine. But it's usually carbs, increasing that protein, making sure they're getting enough of that and starting to decrease carbs.
Do you think
Okay.
most people concentrate more on the cardio over
Yes.
resistance training?
Oh, 100.
Uh,
My doctor used to tell me, "Eat less, do more cardio," without asking me how much cardio I was doing, but he kept telling me, "Do more." And with women with PCOS, that's what when they come to me, that's what they're dealing with. But I'm doing, HIIT 5 times a week, 6 times a week, and I'm, eating 1,200 calories, and it's a big part.
Oh,
It's a stressor.
that's super stressful. It's funny
Mhm.
that fasting is totally different than like reducing your calories and just you're starving all the time.
Yes. I mean, my grandchildren eat 1,200 calories, like, it's and they're 3. So,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Makes sense. Okay, we got some more questions here. This is about menopause. Elke, in menopause since 2020, is there still a bit of a cycle where there is some hormone surges, or once you stop your period, there is no more ups and downs of hormones?
Julie?
What I'm not in menopause yet. I will tell you that I think depending on where you're at, you can kind of gain it back. Like I was starting to get to a 25-day cycle, and within I would say 6 months of carnivore, I went back to a 28-day cycle. So I do think there's some hormones in there that you still can rev up and improve that. You don't have to go menopause isn't starting in our 30s like we're told. It's just society and what we're doing is
Right.
what's making that come earlier and earlier.
Makes sense.
And basically, when you become metabolically healthy, your cycles will go back to hopefully what they should have been all along.
Mhm.
In menopause, there are no big peaks and valleys. You will still have a cycle in the hormones. Obviously, it's not going to end up having a menstruation because that's the whole purpose of the female hormones, to support a pregnancy or to shed the inside of the uterus. One of the two happens, right? Uh, so it's not going to be enough buildup of endometrium to then shed endometrium. Uh, the estrogen and progesterones are not going to be on a big cycle, but there can be variations even during menopause. It's just not going to be at the same levels as when you're a menstruating female.
But this is me being dumb. She says in menopause since 2020, so that means she hasn't had her period since 2020. But isn't it
Yeah.
like 12 months of no period, then you're done with menopause?
Mhm.
No, no. Menopause is one single event. Menopause, by definition, is your last period. And until you haven't had a period, you can never determine the day of menopause until you have been 12 months without the period.
Oh, so I'm so
The
curious. So she
point,
hasn't been in menopause since
menopause
2020.
refers to your last period.
Ah,
Menopause is the
yeah.
last time you had a period and then it stopped.
Okay. Thanks for
Okay,
clarifying
so
for me.
perimenopausal includes before and after,
Hmm.
postmenopausal, but menopause is a single event, and menopause cannot be really determined except looking back,
Okay.
because you need 12 months of no period to say, oh, yes, you stop having menstrual cycles. That's what menopause means.
Okay. Understood. GFG Homestead. Husband is post Whipple and having trouble gaining weight. Trying Creon now. Thoughts on digestive enzymes? And is there an over-the-counter alternative? It's very expensive.
There are over-the-counter digestive enzymes. I used to use, don't have it at hand, but I used to use Pure Encapsulations is a brand that I use. There are versions over the counter, and yes, the Creon is very expensive. Doesn't say why they Whipple procedure includes removing a portion of the pancreas, and that's why she needs actually to replace, or he needs to replace the digestive enzymes.
Okay, great. We got several more questions here. Terry P, what blood test identifies histamine?
Well, that's a misspelling of either Hashimoto's or histamine.
Oh, I took
Okay,
it that histamine. Oh, because it's
so
that Hashimoto's. So if it's Hashimoto's, what tests do you take?
it's an antibody test against thyroid. It's called TPO.
Great. Luis Villalobos, what about cramps? I still have some very seldom. I think we're talking about leg cramps and not period cramps.
My first thought is to make a joke. I'm not gonna make a joke.
Okay.
Uh, Julie, muscle cramps. He's talking about.
Usually that's magnesium, making sure you're getting enough electrolytes in there and enough magnesium. And when you're stressed, you do deplete magnesium quicker too. You could try magnesium spray. You could take a magnesium or even Epsom salt with magnesium in them in the bath. But that's usually, and make sure you're hydrated first thing.
And it could be sometimes overhydration. More often than not, probably is not enough hydration. But when you have a lot of fluids and you're having just water and not adding electrolytes, then you might dilute too much your electrolytes in your blood because you're overhydrating.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of experimentation, increasing, decreasing the different things.
Cookie Carter asks, type 2 diabetic get ketoacidosis and what can cause it?
Any diabetic can have ketoacidosis, and usually you might get into ketoacidosis when your blood sugars are very high and you don't have enough insulin. So a type 2 diabetic with higher levels of insulin, which is what happens for the first 20, 30 years of a patient with diabetes, usually their insulin levels are actually on the high side. You're not going to have ketoacidosis, but usually there is a lack of insulin, and it's a medical emergency. You need to be in the hospital and have tests to try to determine what's going on. So the answer is yes. Someone with type 2 diabetes can end up having ketoacidosis. They can also have what's called a hyperosmolar coma. The word coma should be a clue that is very dangerous, right?
Yes. Yes. So Terry says the spell check, it was Hashimoto's. My thyroid globulin came back at 215. Would that mean Hashimoto's? Yes. Right, Dr. Nelson?
Well, the thyroglobulin, are you talking about antibodies?
Oh, now we're talking about antibodies. Let us know in the chat. All right, let's get a few more questions here. Elke says she's confused about whether to do HRT. What are your thoughts?
I think with HRT, you've got to make sure you're metabolically healthy before you do it. It can be a great thing, and then it can be kind of a dangerous thing. You got to make sure you're metabolically healthy before you go on to that. Because there's a lot you can do foundationally before that. Some people do need support with it. I'm not against it personally, but you just got to get metabolically healthy first.
Awesome. This is the funniest question to show up right when Dr. Kiltz is here.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Kiltz. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I took advantage of being 3 a.m. and not getting up early today because I got here late. And I hung out with my brothers last night, so it was a late night. And I was like, okay, I'm awake. But then my computer wouldn't work, and I found one that worked finally. So, hi.
Hi. Good morning.
How are you doing today?
We're doing great.
Good. Good. Good, good, good.
Put up the question again.
Oh, okay.
For
Well,
him.
what did I just miss? And I'm sorry, Julie, I'm late. Thank you for being here. So appreciate you. Have we touched on HRT already?
We did, but we know what you have an opinion on it. But this is for Elke with menopause. Should she do HRT? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's not a required treatment. I mean, should we all start taking hormones just because we're at a certain age or certain state of our lifespan? And the answer is no. But if you have symptoms that you and your coach and counselor or practitioner have sort of defined it, or yourself and your knowledge, certainly it's not you shouldn't take it. But I believe that many of the symptoms we suffer from in our menopausal state is secondary to inflammation. And so if you treat the inflammation, I think that you'll feel much better in your life, and they're not required. Remember, HRT is a juggernaut of a business to sell you a supplement, a drug, a procedure, or a potion that is not required. I mean, how many infinite years have humans lived without taking HRT? And maybe we use some medicinal treatments for some period of time, but maybe part of the problem was still inflammation. So I don't know, Julie, and if you guys have a different opinion, but look at Dr. Bright. There's so many great books out there on living your life without hormone replacement. So I believe that it's not required. Julie, did I miss something? Did you have some different thoughts and ideas? And I'm open to them.
Yep, I agree. I was just saying that metabolically, you need to be healthy before you even consider it. You got to get that blood sugar inflammation down. Yeah.
There's a really good book by Susan Mattern, Mattern, called The Slow Moon Climbs. I highly recommend it. Also, Elizabeth Bright's work on inflammation and all these things. And so, again, think about the lexicon of you need a statin, you need a hormone replacement, both male and female, by the way. Men should be taking TRT because their sex life should be like they're 16, which, is like, really?
Jennifer Hollis, can iodine help support hormones? Anyone?
Julie, you're up first.
I say yes. I take iodine in my water because it helps the thyroid. So I think it's very important. You got to watch how much you're taking, but yes, I think it's very important.
Do you have any particular product that you recommend or best ways for people to get their iodine?
I take Luigi's.
Lugol's.
Yep, that's it.
Lugol solution.
Yep. And I always start with, tell people to start with 1 drop and just see how you feel. Like everything's a little bio individual too. You've got to experiment and see how you feel. You want to start slow and then add if you need to. But I think it's made a big improvement.
I'm not as good at taking it, but I do have it and I take it. But I've got to be better.
Next
Let's
question.
see. Joyce L. Have been strict carnivore for 20 months. How will I know when my insulin resistance is gone? What am I looking for?
Julie, go ahead.
A lot of doctors don't test fasting insulin. They're going to go just by the A1C. And sometimes you can be insulin resistant for years before the A1C starts to increase. So what I looked for is the skin tags, how I was handling, my digestive system was handling things, and then the stomach. When insulin resistant happened, it's not just that lower abdominal area that women are used to having a little bit of extra fluff there. It was higher up. Like it was such a big bloated feeling. So once you start correcting that, you'll notice that goes down too, and the energy goes up. So that's the biggest symptoms that I look for and tell my clients to look for.
Fasting. What's your thoughts on fastings, Julie?
I fast 12 to 14 hours every night, and I love that for autophagy. And then I mentioned earlier that I fast on Mondays. I will do, depending on stress level for the week, I might do just till lunch, or a lot of times it's the whole day. So I at least get 24 hours. 36 hours is as long as I've gone. And I will tell you, the brain was so on at that 36 hours. Like I need to try a little bit longer. Just haven't been brave enough yet.
Great. And then Matthew doesn't believe you have grandkids. Did you say you have grandkids?
Yes. Number 5 on the way in March.
That's
Love
beautiful.
It. Yes.
Nothing better in
Okay.
life.
No, not at all.
Nothing better. That's what we're all here to do, is build our families
Yes.
and spread love, kindness, generosity, gratitude, and forgiveness.
Yes. Yes.
That's right. LKM Land Crypto, can electrolytes mess with sleep, i.e. best not to drink them several hours before bedtime? Thanks in advance.
What do you think, Julie?
I have not seen that in my practice with my clients. Like sometimes magnesium can get you a little excited. That might keep you up a little bit if you're taking the wrong kind. But I drink them all the way up till bed, and so do a lot of my clients. It just depends on hydration, activity level, sweating, like what's going on in your life.
I'm the same. I don't limit that, and I think electrolytes are good for us, and but preferably good quality, and we don't get enough salt. Our biggest problem has been low salt, low fat diet. It's really been it.
Right. And I think this is the last question. Same person. Suggested good things to eat regularly, amounts, frequency for skin health, i.e. sardines.
Oh, sardines are good. They're very good for your brain and for your skin. I think just making sure you're getting enough protein and fats is really, really important. You'll see a lot of things change for your skin. A lot of us are on vitamin A deficiency. So a lot of skin issues come from that vitamin A. And so beef liver is really good too. I can't do it, but Dr. Keltz's beef liver tablets are wonderful. To me, I don't know. I've tried some that as soon as you open it, I gag, and his doesn't do that to me. So I do like his. Yes. But you're going to get a lot of that from sardines is going to give you a lot of DHA and it's going to give you some good omegas. But I do sardines.
And have them with skin and bones if you're gonna have sardines. Don't
Yes.
have the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Great. And then this is really the last question. Jennifer Hollis, I've been told that fasting every other day can help with metabolic flexibility. Is that okay to do, or should I be fast, or should fasting be grouped together?
I think we can overdo fasting, especially with women. What I have found, it can really mess up their hormones. Some of us do it a little bit too much. It just depends your state. Like, how are you handling stress? How is your blood sugar currently? That's why I always recommend starting that 12-hour overnight fast, get your body used to it. Because if you have blood sugar issues, that's even hard. If you're one that's used to eating, 4 or 5 times a day, and you're trying to go to 3 meals at first, some people notice a big hypoglycemic effect and don't feel real well. So I recommend starting with that and then doing a 1 day a week fast. Just see how your body's doing with that before you stress it out.
Yeah, alternate day fasting, which is that what she's asking about, right? Every other day, kind of a potent treatment for what? There might be specific people who use it. There are people who are trying to reverse their diabetes and they've been very bad for many years. And that may be a situation where they will benefit from that. But alternate day fasting just for the hell of it is probably not a great idea. And I believe, I always say it, doing a regular day a week, like you say you do on Mondays, it's probably beneficial. You don't have to be doing prolonged fasting all the time either.
22 days. Huh.
All right, I'm pressing the button. So this is for a Body by Bacon t-shirt, everybody. Let's see who's going to win the Body by Bacon t-shirt today. I bet it's Dr. Kiltz. He keeps winning.
We'll disqualify him because he's won 2 times this week.
Ah, Lewis, I think you have a Body by Bacon t-shirt. So if you don't want that one, let me know. Congratulations. Email me, alia@drkiltz.com with your address and shirt size. Thank you so much.
All right. Oh wow, we're at the top of the hour. Julie, you have Julie, do you have where can people find you?
I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram as Jules Wilcoxson, and on my website is transformations with the number 4 life.com. I love the thing with nutrition. If you get me talking about it, I don't shut up. I love to talk about it. I love helping people. And I just feel, especially with women like in the 40s and up, I feel like we get forgotten about. I feel like we're just kind of pushed aside. Everything's blamed on hormones and we don't get the same care. And I want to, I like to talk about that and change that. So I love answering questions or talking.
We need coaching and kindness. I think that's one of the most important things. The standard medical system is a diagnosis, a drug, a dissection, and another doctor. And then you've been given a label for life that you're sick. And if you just take this pill, this potion, this dissection, and that really is it. And I think that through the coaching courses that Dr. Nelson is putting out there with Ali and others' help, and what you're doing, Julie, it's so important now to learn how to take care of yourself and take control of your health care. The medical system, the government, the standard professional management of humanity as they're the keepers of us is not working. We're just getting sicker.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Very much agree. We're also taught symptoms are a bad thing. We have to mask it, like take a pill, but it's our body's way of communicating, telling us something wrong ahead of time if we take care of that. Yes.
That's a very good
Symptoms.
point.
Dr. Kiltz,
Okay. Yes.
what are you doing today?
I'm attending my 40th year medical school reunion at UC Davis up in Davis and Sacramento, California today, tomorrow. I'm hanging out with my brother Ray and Tom, and we're all going to travel up there. My brother Tom lives in Davis. We're going to travel up there today, hang out with our
Awesome.
brothers and sisters, and see what everyone's doing, and talk about keto, carnivore, faith, and fasting, and how important all these things are in our lives. And so I'm really excited about it. You know, I can't believe at 25, there's a 40-year reunion. It's
You don't look like it's possible.
Well, thank you, and I think that whatever that's again keto and/or carnivore lifestyle, and I think faith and I throw in some fasting. I'm a 1 meal a day guy in general. You don't have to do anything more than that. It's amazing how well we feel, and then connecting in these communities. The community connection is so important.
Great.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing today.
Very good. Now,
Awesome.
when you went to medical school, did they take tablets to school?
Yes,
The
they
dinosaurs were walking
were
there.
made out of stone. That
You had like a chisel.
someone said that to me yesterday. They said, "Well, when you were in medical school, they had clay tablets and stone tablets." Dr. Nelson,
Dr. Nelson was in the medical school at the same time.
Actually, I graduated 6 months before him.
I graduated. I was in June of '85 was my graduation, and then I went and did internal medicine first, and then I switched to OBGYN, and here I am, OBGYN and fertility, and I love the practice of medicine. I think that the practice of medicine needs to always be changing, and we in modern medicine, and my job is to share the message to our standardly trained practitioners. So, and I think that's what we're all here to do. Let's invite the standard medical community into listening and learning about at least keto, if not full on carnivore. Carnivore is not required, but I think keto and is really fantastic for all of us.
But it could be a game changer, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep, that's what we're here to do.
That's awesome.
All
Dee
righty.
says the truth. You are a great doctor, Dr. Kiltz. This is true.
God bless you. And my words of wisdom for all of us: be your own doctor. And through the carnivore coaching course and the 30-day carnivore coaching course, these are all ways that you can understand. Basically, we're talking about creating a medical school for you. All of us. We should all be going to medical school. Everyone's admitted. And we want to train and teach all of us the Eastern and Western methodology through Kiltz Health and the real Dr. Nelson is real, by the way. And again, and Julie, what you're doing, and Alia, and everyone here, we're just keep on sharing and never give up, and have faith and love, kindness, generosity, and forgiveness always.
Love that.
Great
All right.
message.
Beautiful words to end the live stream on. Thank you so much, Dr. Kiltz. Thank you, Julie. As always, thank you, Dr. Nelson.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Have a great
everybody.
day.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Great day.